SimplyScuba presents the Deco Stop podcast.
Hi everybody and welcome to the Deco Stop podcast. I am Mark and I am joined as ever with Sean, who once broke into a prison just so that he could say that he's broken out of a prison.
How did you find out about that? I loved doing
I have access
that.
to the cameras.
Oh no. I just went there for the good times. They got better TV
Make some
reception
friends.
than me. Yeah, they got free internet. You know what I mean? And I thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to Shawshank, not sure. Yeah, I did. I Shawshanked it. I mean, the thing is, when I went there, it was all open, but I'd still decided.
It was all open.
Yeah.
It was all just random posters of Rita Hayworth just like laying around.
Yeah.
If that even was who it was, I can't remember.
I don't
nowadays,
know. But yeah,
who the poster girl was.
It was good fun. I enjoyed crawling through a poo pipe.
And you got a little tiny little pick, a rock hammer, and scrape through the walls.
That's actually why we didn't. For 6 months, there was no content for this channel. It wasn't because we were changing hands. It's because I was breaking out of jail.
Just waiting for that like rainy, thundery night so you could break through that pipe.
That's it. That is it.
Where did he
exactly.
get that rock? Oh, I suppose it would have been for tunneling through the wall. I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk about scuba diving and stuff.
Boo.
So starting off with the SimplyScuba website. So the first is we have a new brand, and it's Mares. You've probably heard of them. They're probably one of the top
I've
3
never heard of
scuba diving
them.
brands around the world. They make like amazing equipment. So stuff sort of arrived earlier this week, and it's slowly sort of populating on our website. So yeah, we're going to start to talk about Mares dive equipment again, and we'll start to do some videos on them, sort of reintroducing their sort of new ranges and stuff. And as it comes into the 2022 season, and they sort of release their new stuff, we'll be the first to talk about them. We also have a second new brand, which is Zone 3. Zone 3 is a open water swimming brand, so it's quite popular nowadays with people going like cold water swimming. Instead of just going to the local swimming pool, you just go to your coast, which for the UK is actually really easy. And we also have lots of lakes as well. So inland swimming is pretty popular, but you know you got to sort of wear the right stuff and protect yourself. So all sorts of swimming wetsuits and sort of exposure protection, actual swimming goggles. It's quite hard for me to say the word goggles.
That's. And I can't wait to get them, but I can't wait to get the flippers. The Zone 3 flippers.
They still won't be flippers because flipper isn't the correct term. They're still fins. They're swim fins. Swim fins.
Blah.
But as of...
Sorry, I'll stop now.
As of right now...
Awesome.
We have extended our returns period because it's the Christmas season. We've actually extended our returns period, so that runs all the way up until the 16th of January. Just to make your life a little bit easier and a bit more comfortable, especially with sort of buying things for loved ones over the Christmas period. You want to make sure that it fits, but you don't want to order it too early because then it's outside of the returns window. We said, nah. It doesn't matter this returns window, we're going to extend it until the middle of January. So even if it doesn't fit or there is something wrong with it, you can still send it back, even if you have bought it today. So
nice.
as of today, that's extended, which is nice. There'll be more information on our website, SimplyScuba.com. There's a little sort of section in there if you just search for returns.
That's so nice of us to do that.
We always used to do it, but I think it was mainly in like just December. So the December, you'd have like most of January as well. But now we're actually extending it to November and, well, a little bit of October as well.
You know the reason behind that? I know why. Everyone's buying their stuff earlier. No, not charity. Everyone's buying their stuff earlier.
Yeah. I think someone also they posted search trends for Mariah Carey's Christmas single, and the little bar has come off of zero.
It's happening. It's happening. I mean, to be fair, I have been listening to a bit of Lo-Fi Christmas, but you can get away with that because
Christmas,
mate, Lo-Fi Christmas is fantastic. I've got a really good playlist on
I'm gonna have to look for that.
Spotify. Let me.
Okay,
right. While you talk about something,
I'll fill in.
Link.
Yeah, I'll fill in. Okay, so if we go down the latest gear on SimplyScuba.com, so starting off, we got the Zone 3 Advanced Men's Wetsuits, which is in a sort of a gunmetal blue colour. We also have the Women's Agile, which is black with kind of pink detailing on it. But these have this smooth skin outer, so it's very low friction. So if you are into your sort of open water swimming, then yeah, you just get this sort of wetsuit, flexible, so you can do all your kind of swimmy stuff. But yeah, and it's quite clever in sort of what they use, and certain panels are like more buoyant, so you have sort of buoyancy in the water. Others have increased like friction, like in the gloves, and in sometimes on like the inner arm, you actually have increased amount of friction in that external material. So as you're pulling yourself through the water, instead of just slipping through, you actually have more traction. So it's very clever, these new wetsuits. But yeah, you can buy them from SimplyScuba.com.
SimplyScuba.com. Check your WhatsApp, Mark.
Check my inbox. Okay,
there should be a link there. Cool. All right.
Cool. So yeah, on to social channel updates with Sean.
Hello, guys. I'm Sean. I've just escaped prison. No, right. So obviously we got votes. We've got this week's vote that has gone live. 2 are old school that we've put up several times, and 1 is brand new. So in third place, we have at 22% as of recording. Actually, no, let me refresh. I'm going to refresh the page. Let's do this.
Yeah.
There we go. So there's 103 votes. So in third place, we have at 21%. Oh, no. What am I saying? There's even one lower than that. God. Third place, we have at 12%, 8 ways to fail your open water test part 2. In second place, at 21%, we have 5 things not to say on a liveaboard. Those are the ones that I keep ramming down people's throats that no one votes for. So thanks for doing that again, guys and girls. And in first place, with a massive 67%, we have amazing tips to extend your bottom time. So that is winning. That is blatantly going to win. No issues there. Yeah, cool, mate. So if you want to vote, to be fair, a lot of people that are probably seeing this going, oh, there's no point in voting, but there's always a point in voting because we're a democracy. But yeah, anyway, so go over to our community tab, and then you'll find the vote there to vote for that. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. You have seemed to have embraced the coolest shipwreck video, and as of recording, it's close to hitting 10,000 views, which is pretty big deal for us, really. Our surface intervals, they either do stonkingly out the gate, or they have a tendency of just doing okay. Then they generally pick up a couple of days or a couple of weeks afterwards. But yeah, it's only been out. This is week number 2 and hitting 10k. That's pretty cool. That's all for YouTube. Instagram. So obviously we are on the road to 10,000. We hit the road to 6,000. So again, thank you to everyone who went and followed us over on Instagram. But what, as a cherry on the top, as the fairy on top of the Christmas tree, or the star, or whatever you put on top of your Christmas tree, we would love to see if we can hit 7,000 by the end of the month. End of the year, sorry, not end of the month, because we've got about 3 days to the end of the month. I say 3 days, it's a bit more than that. But basically, yeah, we would love to see if we can hit 7,000 by the end of the year. So if you want to get inspired by scuba diving, you want to see some wonderful scuba diving images from cave diving, wreck diving, even snorkeling, free diving, we share them all over there. And as well, we obviously put posts about brands, so latest fresh drops that have come on our website to brands and products that you know and love. it's more heavily on the influence side because it's Instagram. That's what Instagram's for, rather than ramming down products. But yeah, it's just nice that, now and again you'll get a product in your feed that might interest you as well. So yeah, if you haven't already, head over to Instagram, type in Simply Scuba, and hit that follow button. It will be greatly appreciated. Or if not, just click on the link that's going to be pinned on the YouTube version of this video. So yeah, head over to YouTube and then you'll find us there. And podcast updates, I've got none because it's not the end of the month yet. There's not much stats. People are still listening. People are still loving it. And that's basically it. So yeah, that's social updates, Mark. Nice and sweet and short for once.
Succinct.
Yes. Excellent.
I was totally paying attention. I was actually replying to a message. So if you did hear any clickety clacking and keyboards, that was me.
I see. They had to add me into that group to get me to put me in there. So they realised I wasn't even in that group. Never mind.
Anyway, so onto news that caught my attention. So the first one is that the Ocean Cleanup, which is an organisation who are sort of focused on cleaning up our oceans. They've set their sights on the Pacific Ocean garbage patch, and they've basically created a new sort of system of collecting marine plastics. I think this is their second iteration. They've called it Jenny. It's I forget the length of it. I want to say like 800 meter. Or it might be 400 meter, I forget. It's a big, long net that has floats on that sort of hold it on the surface. It's then it drops down 3 meters, and it's quite a tight mesh net. It's held either end by 2 separate vessels that just tow it behind them, between them, so it creates this U-shaped scoop. And because they're only going at like 1 or 2 knots, which is like 1-2 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's really slow, and it like gradually collects the stuff. But of course it's not catching fish, because the fish can quite easily swim down underneath it or out swim it, so they don't tend to get get caught up in it. But all the plastic does, and because when you tow it between or behind 2 ships, it creates that U shape. Anything that's caught ends up being funneled right into the center. And in the center they have this separate like sort of catchment section, which collects all of the plastic. And then when they've sort of filled that up, basically the 2 ships then head towards one another. One ship takes both ends of the net. The other one goes to the back, collects that collection area, pulls it back on board, and then they sort out all the plastic into the different types of plastic and all that kind of stuff. They throw it into containers, they take it back to shore, and then they recycle it responsibly. So a few days ago, they completed their proof of concept, and they proved that it works. So hopefully going forwards, they're going to either sort of roll this out sort of mainstream more frequently to really sort of get stuff done. But yeah, if you want to learn more about it, head over to theoceancleanup.com, and they got some cool videos and informational stuff on there. And yeah, it's one of those things that we have to do this. Granted, it's only the floating stuff that it's collecting, but there's a lot of floating stuff out there that needs to be collected.
It's better than nothing.
Nice news story to start it off with.
Yes.
Second one, I'll be impressed if you haven't heard of this, because it's been reported literally everywhere. I don't think I've seen a single news outlet that hasn't mentioned it. But this is the chap Yakov Shavit. He was cruising around the port city of Haifa, and he discovered a 900-year-old sword from they think like the Crusades. And yeah, he took some video of him like swimming it back, and it's just a really obvious sword. It's encrusted in all sorts of like crustaceans and bits and bobs, but it's still very much sword shaped and very much intact. So yeah, he's recovered it. Now they're sort of taking it back to be cleaned up and restored, and hopefully they can get some more information from it. But yeah, this is like scuba diver's wet dream, as it were, just swimming along. You're like, oh hey, that's a really obvious sword-shaped thing, artifact, and yeah, just like bare hands, just like picks it up and is like, yeah, this is cool. A bit of history.
Yoink. I can't wait to see him go to the repair shop on BBC. That's
Yeah.
going to be a good episode.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is like huge, and he's like, it's really heavy, so it's obviously like Iron Age type stuff, but yeah, it's still very much that traditional cross shape, and yeah, hopefully in a few months' time or something, it'll be all cleaned up, and we'll actually get to see what's underneath all of that marine growth.
Nice.
The next one comes from the UK, and this is an appeal to find a missing shark tag. So scientists tagged a shark, I think it was a poor beagle, off the coast of Brittany, and it's one of those
poor beagles, mate.
It's one of those like radio tag thingy-bops, and it's fallen off, but it's still like transmitting. They just can't really find it because it's not like pinpoint accuracy. So what they do know is that it's thought to be on Compton Beach near freshwater along the south coast, around 50 degrees 39.889 degrees north, 001 degrees 28.840 west, if you're in that area. But they also say that if you're an amateur
They need
radio,
to what 3 words that? I want to.
yeah, that would make life a lot easier.
Oh.
Yeah, go for it, Sean. They also say that if you're an amateur radio person and you have a receiver, the tag actually pings once a second at the frequency of 401.678 megahertz. So if you are in that area, you are into your radios and you can pick it up, then yeah, do them a favor. It's kind of a black sort of light bulb with an antenna sticking out of the top of it. So yeah, if you do find it, the association's apex would like it back, because it's got lots of interesting information on it. There is a second one, but I don't think that's actually made landfall yet. They say it's still at sea near Folkestone. So if you are diving in that area and you do see, yeah, it's like a rubbery black light bulb with like a little antenna sticking out of the top. If you do find something that looks a bit like that, yeah, get in contact with the association's apex, and yeah, sort of let them know where you found it and how to get it back to them. Yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting.
Cool.
The next one.
What 3 words
Yeah.
doesn't like that? Like those thingies.
Oh,
apparently.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, over to Berlin, and a new craze is sort of coming up, but actually locals aren't a huge fan of it, and this is magnet fishing. So there's a lot of interest online about people who sort of basically go into rivers. A lot of scuba divers do it, and they do like their cleanups, and they kind of like have a GoPro. They show what they're collecting. Gets a lot of views online. Something that happens during lockdown was magnet fishing, where you literally just tie a powerful magnet onto the end of the rope, chuck it into a river, and then just slowly draw it back towards you, and then you film yourself and whatever you sort of pull out of the water. And yeah, a lot of people are getting like really into this, but unfortunately too many people are getting into it and they're pulling stuff out, but yeah, they're pulling all the metal stuff out, which is good. They're getting all the trash out, but they're also bringing out a lot of like algae and seaweed and all that kind of stuff, and then just kind of like leaving it there by the side on like pavements and stuff. And all the locals are having to like step over and around it, and they're like, oh god, this is a bit disgusting. It's like, okay, yeah, it's nice that you're cleaning up, but could you like be a bit cleaner? So yeah, if you are, just be a bit considerate of sort of the locals, as it were. But yeah, they found all sorts of interesting things from like safes to I think they found some guns, which is the police are always very interested in. But yeah, all sorts. I think most of it is like old bikes and shopping trolleys and stuff. But but yeah, all sorts of stuff. They found like a piece of fencing, and this is like, it doesn't look like wrought iron, but it's like a full-on metal fence, solid metal.
Yeah.
And you're like, where does one?
Well, what happened, Mark? I was walking along the river, and then there was a banana. I was carrying my new piece of fence to my home, and I slipped on a banana peel, and it just fell in there.
It reminds me of there's a video clip like CCTV, and it's along the side of a river, and these yobs have found there's like a bollard that's along the side of the river.
Yeah.
So there's a row of bollards, and then it's got like a chain sort of between them, just to prevent you from falling in accidentally. But one of these bollards is a little loose, so of course they kick it, and that one concrete bollard like falls in. But because it's attached to all the others, it sets off a chain reaction in both directions, and it's like plump 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 plump, and everyone around's like, what are you doing? I mean, was it really worth it? And now they just destroyed that entire thing.
Yeah, that sucks, but also that was kind of cool to see. I'm not gonna lie.
It was quite satisfying. Yeah, but it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. No. Don't do that, kids. Don't do that.
And the final one, this is an odd news story because it starts off like really negative, and I don't know whether it's just like a typo, but it's. I mean, the title is "Can Antibiotic Goop and an Army of Scuba Divers Save Florida's Ailing Coral Reefs?" So it's a news article all about the stony coral tissue loss disease, or SCTLD, off of Florida. But the opening paragraph is, "Perhaps it's one of the rarest medical treatments in recent times. 2 years ago, South Florida researchers dived under the waves to find out what was happening and applied antibiotic goop. This helped thousands of coral colonies become infected."
Zombies, mate.
And it's like, whoa, what? But then the rest of the story is basically about these sort of scuba divers that they're applying this antibiotic treatment to coral to help prevent it. But that initial paragraph, it doesn't make sense. It threw you off,
didn't he? It threw you off, didn't
it? I was like, what? So is this their fault? But anyway, yeah, they're still. I mean, it goes on to like the Disney company are helping out, and special force veterans, citizen scientists, and you're like, oh, who wrote this?
Basically, I have a feeling there's a lot going on there, and whoever wrote this didn't have that much time.
No, yeah, you do hear this with a lot of the news outlets. They're under a lot of pressure just to create a lot of content. Doesn't really matter if it's spell checked or completely accurate, just get it live on the website. But yeah, by the sounds of it, a lot of scuba divers are sort of helping out to sort of apply this remedy to try and prevent SCTLD, and hopefully they can help, because it's this kind of disease that's spreading, and it is going quite far on the Florida coast. So they're trying to, on top of everything else that coral is suffering from today, they're trying to sort of help prevent this. It's like a virus or a bacterial infection from spreading. So they're really all hands on deck trying to sort of stop the spread. But yeah, I should probably look for a another news outlet to find more information about that.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, but I think that was it. It was a little slow on news this week. There's a lot of the traditional clickbaity stuff, and you're like,
I'm so glad we ditched
really
Daily
interesting.
Scuba News, mate, because it's
Thin on the ground.
super thin. Cool. Guys and girls, you got any stories that we might have missed that you want to take? Or have you got an achievement, that's what you normally say, isn't it, Mark, that you're super proud of? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll mention it in Scuba News. But the whole reason why you're listening to this podcast is Mark's product of the week. So, Mark, what is your product of the week?
So my product of the week, because it's really starting to get cold outside now, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, is the Fourth Element J2 base layer. Ooh. So this is one of the biggest like upgrades that you can make to your dry suit diving and actual just like general life, because I do wear this a lot of the time in the winter time, just out and about. But a base layer underneath your dry suit undersuit makes a world of difference. It's incredibly thin, but the material itself is specifically designed to wick moisture away from your body, so any sweat or sort of humidity is just wicked away from your body, so you stay completely dry, and in being dry, that in turn makes you feel warmer. So even though it's not adding really any buoyancy, so you don't need to add any lead to your system, it actually increases the warmth by a lot. So normally when I first learned to dive, and I spent a lot of time in dry suits, you just put your underwear on, and then you just put your undersuit on, and then your dry suit over the top, and that was kind of it. But actually we should all be wearing base layers first, and then a dry suit undersuit over the top of it, because they work in combination, they work with one another to really wick that moisture away and really keep that insulating air over your body. And the J2 I love. This is actually the base layer that I wear, because it was named after the J2 expedition, which is an underwater cave system. So these cave explorers were actually wearing their J2 base layers just days on ends, continuously, and because it has silver ions kind of built into the material, that silver ion actually helps to kill bacteria and stop it from forming. So it actually is antimicrobial, so it kills a lot of the nasties. So one, you don't smell, but also you're actually a lot cleaner in itself. So yeah, it is definitely a worthy investment. And yeah, I just wear mine if I'm like sort of out walking the dogs or something. I just need an extra layer, but not too much. Then yeah, just put this on first, and then a shirt over the top of it. It makes a real world of difference. But it's not bulky, it's not restrictive or anything. So yeah, if you do feel the cold, and instead of just getting a thicker undersuit, just try a base layer first and then your undersuit, and that should make a world of difference to your diving.
Cool. On behalf of every hiker in the world and the hiking industry, outdoor industry, scuba divers, you're welcome. No, base layers are brilliant. I love base layers.
Yeah, it's it is that old adage of just layer up. It's not about wearing just one big heavy something to keep you warm. It's multi layers to that work together to keep you dry and warm.
Indeedy. Cool. But from a hiking point, I guess it doesn't really work. Don't lay yourself up too much. If you put too many layers on, you can't trap the heat and you can't wick away the moisture away. But that's personal preference.
Well, that's what your dry suit's for.
Yeah, but it is. I know, like I said. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Mark, have you seen the new Lego that has been released? It is of the Titanic.
Oh, okay.
It is cool. But that got me thinking. So, with diving...
Is it like...
it's like 2.5 meters long.
Accident?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, wow.
It's massive. I don't think the iceberg. I think the iceberg is sold separately though. They need to do that. I mean, no offense to people. If anyone lost, like great grandparents
Too
or whatever,
soon?
yeah, too soon. But like, it would be well cool if they did 2 stages of it, where you use the mechanics and it like splits itself in half, and then you get the little Lego people, and then they fall down, just like in the movie. Anyway,
Jack and Rose sold separately.
yes, Jack and Rose sold separately.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't know. It seems to have lots of lifeboats down the side. Doesn't seem
That's
to have
inaccurate.
enough.
That's inaccurate. Anyway, so this got me thinking. Obviously, scuba diving is awesome, and
Yes.
you scuba divers, pretty much like anyone, love having all types of memorabilia and all that sort of thing. So
It does split into 3. Sorry to just ruin your flow, but I'm just like looking
fine.
around. It does split into 3 separate sections. I think it's
Excellent.
more just so that you can see the different decks, not like where it literally broke in half. But yeah, it does actually open up, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
Sorry, as you were talking about how awesome scuba divers were.
Yeah, all scuba divers are so awesome, and they love collecting awesome things. Firstly, would people be interested in potential more shipwrecks being created by Lego? Now, what would be awesome is the boat itself as it was before it sunk, but what it also looks like now underwater. So you get like you get the Lego sheet, and then like if it's all broken up, you've got a piece of the Lego in certain areas, so then it replicates that scene of the shipwreck underwater. Do you reckon Lego would do something like that? And also as well, there's blatantly someone out there that has done Lego dive ship.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
seeing who's.
But should they really now if the Titanic proves popular? Obviously, the Titanic is slightly different in terms of mainstream media to say Thistlegorm or something. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to know Thistlegorm. But should they do more shipwrecks, basically? And also, is there a big call for this type of models and memorabilia? Is there anything? Do you reckon like mainstream media could do more for like epic gifts like this Lego Titanic for scuba divers? Because you get, obviously, you joke about it, but you've got that mixer, haven't you, that's got the massive octopus. You can get really cool prints of old school scuba divers. So there is artwork and models out there. And obviously, what are the guys, the diving model guys we follow on Instagram? Those guys are fantastic. Model divers or something.
Yeah, I think it's just literally models for divers.
Something like that. Those guys are awesome. But yeah, do you reckon there could be more mainstream? And if they were to try and get more mainstream scuba diving products, what would you pick? What would you want them to make? Either out of Lego, out of Play-Doh, Playmobil, or whatever. What would you like to see in terms of memorabilia and models?
Yeah, I mean they do have. I think it's part of their like Lego City range. They have a dedicated scuba side of things. So they do have scuba, and it is actually fairly accurate. If you look at the little figures, they actually have a BCD inflator. They have a little submersible pressure gauge like printed on them. It's not that bad. They are wearing like a full head helmet, which is a little inaccurate unless you like surface supply. But yeah, it's not actually half bad. And they got their little sort of scuba tanks on their back, which is pretty cool. As far as shipwrecks, yeah. I mean, the Titanic, I imagine they could get away with that. It's not too like dark, but I don't think there's going to be that much demand for a Thistlegorm or Colne shipwreck sort of set. It would be cool. I would definitely look at it, but it's expensive, man. I mean, this. Yeah. I'm taking a look at the Titanic one just now, and right now it's £570, and I say right now, it will probably always be £570 because it
Lego.
never loses its value. Yeah. It's kind of weird in that it comes with a little like name plaque to put in front of it, which just makes it look like you're playing Scrabble. But but the detail on this thing is incredible. I mean, trust what do you call it, Lego, to put sort of this much detail into a model. But yeah, a shipwreck version, I imagine, because a lot of sort of guys and girls out there, they actually do their own sets. And they actually improve existing ones. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the such and such, but actually there's a better way to create this formation or this shape or something if you use these pieces, and they do it themselves, and they do some incredible stuff. And there are some shipwrecks online. If I just sort of Google image search sort of Lego shipwrecks, most of them are like Spanish galleons. But yeah, I imagine if you do get that sort of crossover between scuba diver who loves shipwrecks but is also really into Lego, if you have that much money that you can buy scuba equipment and Lego, then yeah,
you could make your scuba
would.
equipment out of Lego. There we go, guys.
It is waterproof.
Yeah.
I imagine it's pretty buoyant because Lego like has lots of air pockets. But yeah.
Is there anything other than Lego? Like model wise, is there anything like maybe like a scuba Monopoly? Would you buy that? Underwater Monopoly?
That would be quite fun. Because you could have like different dive sites and dive centres and then training agencies or something.
Yeah.
And go to jail could be the decompression chamber.
Exactly.
Does that exist? Scuba Monopoly.
They do Monopoly for everything else.
Scubaopoly.
Is it a real one?
Kind of.
Though?
It's not. No.
Was it Hasbro?
Like
Come on, Hasbro. I know you're listening to this. I know you guys. Your CEO loves the Deco Stop podcast.
They've put the Dan logo on it. Scubaopoly instructions. Dan store.
So, obviously Dan have made it then.
Well, I don't know. I've never. Treasure hunt. It doesn't look overly official. Oh, it looks very dog-eared. So maybe they did like back in the 70s or whenever.
Oh, okay.
Is there any more information on this?
No.
It was supported by Dan. Buy property, collect research dives, go to exotic places, but add a shark cage, lost weight belts, typhoons, lost equipment, and it becomes a little more difficult and a lot more fun.
Yeah, because what you could do though, like for houses, you can have dive boats, but you start off with like the house is like a rib, and then you have the hotel, and then that's like a luxury yacht. Yeah, liverboards and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go.
In this one, you don't go to the decompression chamber. You go to the shark cage. Okay.
Well, that's not bad. Everyone wants to go to the shark cage. It's fun.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, hyperbaric medical services pay $250. $250. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, nice. Sweet.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hunts. Yeah.
That's cool.
I reckon we could like do a modern version of that, and that would be quite fun to play.
Oh, if we did it, and then we could live stream us playing it.
Someone would watch it. Hopefully.
Yeah, they would.
If they're listening to this, they'd probably watch it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Cool.
But
man.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to see like famous shipwrecks. That would be quite fun in like Lego form or like Meccano form or something. That would be quite fun. I don't know if we'll like properly see it ever because it is quite a niche thing. But yeah.
Hey, you can dream. Seriously,
Titanic.
Hasbro, we want scuba. You literally make Monopoly for everything. Why can you not make it for scuba diving?
I imagine. I mean, they do. They've got their submarines. They've got plenty of different submarines. They have sort of all sorts of underwater stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, someone has done. Ooh, let me send you this quickly.
Things are unraveling on. This is why you guys listen to the podcast, because we are completely doing this on the fly of our pants. Right, what you sent it to me on Slack. This episode is not sponsored by. Yes. Oh, guys, only if you. Right, what's the? Yeah, okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, an image has just popped up. It is slightly insensitive because people died, but it was so long ago.
So this is a minifigure replica of RMS Titanic by
brilliant.
certified Lego professional Ryan McNaught, built from 120,000 pieces. It took 250 hours to build, and yeah, it sort of shows it splitting.
It is amazing. That has just popped up. Again, if you're listening to this, head over to YouTube on tomorrow, on Sunday, if you're watching this as it goes live. And then, yeah, I'll put a timestamp in there for everyone to click on just to look at this awesome picture. Because it is awesome, mate. That is genius. That's what they needed.
Yeah. I reckon, like, give it long enough, because Lego isn't going anywhere.
No.
Yeah, I reckon we'll get some.
It's going to be
proper underwater sets.
Did you hear talking about Lego? Did you hear about they're changing their plastics to a more eco-friendly, natural? Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Right, or a plant-based. Because I was watching a program on Netflix last night. It popped up, History 101. And I didn't know this, but before World War II, the guy, Jerry Ford, or whoever owned Ford at the time, again, not American, but he was actually investing in making plastics out of soya. The soya beans.
Okay.
But because of World War II, and they had to mass produce all this plastic, they had to go down the petroleum, which is obviously what we use now. But but now they're again looking at what Mr. Ford was doing with soya to make soya plastic, which biodegrades.
Yeah.
It actually biodegrades within, I don't know, 100 years, rather than the supposedly 400 billion gazillion years that one plastic bottle. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean that must be a huge concern for Lego, because they're literally a company that makes lots of little pieces of plastic, which is like the most evil thing in today's world.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
They're doing that. I think it's plant based. And also a pet peeve. It really annoys me when people say Legos. You have one Lego and you have two Lego. It's the same thing. There's no such word.
Lego.
There is no such thing as Legos. So please stop calling it Legos.
You just got like 50 comments.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sean?
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, but yeah, so cool. Guys and girls, is there anything that you would like to see made in some sort of model or memorabilia? Or is there anything like a big company like Lego could do, that are aimed at scuba divers? Also, as well, we should find out the email address of the Hasbro marketing team and bombard them with emails so we can have Scuba Monopoly. And we should be the two characters, not Jacques Cousteau. There should be a Mark and a Sean character, especially a Sean character. They need a non-diving marketing person on it. But yeah, like they could do it if they made it colour. Rather than metal, they could have Jacques Cousteau's red woolly hat. That'd be well cool.
Yeah.
As a little token. Anyway, completely going off another tangent. Let's wrap this up. So yeah, let us know in the comments on our YouTube video. Go from there. Just do it. Let us know your thoughts. What you would like to see as models. What you're giggling at, Mark? What you're giggling at?
I'm just looking at this Scuba Opoly.
Okay.
Because they've got a little shark fin. They have a seahorse as like pewter characters.
Yeah.
Something that I think they were aiming for a whale. I think that's what they're trying to look at. A mask and snorkel, a crab. What the? Oh, it's a scuba diver, but like swimming straight down, and it's as if he's like plonked straight head first into the bottom.
Cool. Yeah, so that's how many bits do you get in Monopoly? Like 5 or 6 or something?
Pieces?
Yeah.
Six playable characters.
Yeah, so you've got Scuba Diver, we'll have Jacques Cousteau's woolly hat. What else? You'd have a mask.
The Titanic.
The Titanic. the split. No. Well, the Titanic could be two parts. You can have the back and the front.
A pair of split fins.
And what is it? Spare air. Yeah, there you go.
And a sheer water Terric.
And I'll definitely need a sheer water Terric. What they can do is it? I can't remember the names of the two really posh, like the most expensive bits on the Monopoly board. Is it Richmond? I don't know.
Oh,
but
it's whatever like Mayfair or something.
Yeah, but the most expensive bit has to be a sheer water Terric.
I can think of far more expensive equipment than a sheer water Terric.
So can I, but sheer water Terric for the win. Anyway, Mark, let's round this up now. Let's kill this beast.
Okay, thank you for listening, everybody. Don't forget to sort of hit that subscribe button or follow button or whatever the button is called on whatever sort of platform you're listening to us on. Try and rate us as well, because it just means that our audience shall grow, and comment wherever you can. Again, that just helps out with the algorithm. Again, don't forget to head over to Instagram, sort of like, share, and subscribe, do all that kind of stuff with Instagram, because we're trying to get to 10,000 as soon as possible, because that just opens up a few new sort of features, so we can do some more interesting stuff for you guys and girls. Of course, don't forget our website, SimplyScuba.com. Check out all the latest Mara's equipment, along with some Zone 3. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're into your sort of open water swimming. But yeah, Mara's big brand, Italian brand, lots of sort of stylish equipment, and they also have their XR range, which is a bit more technical. If you are looking at buying anything, we also have 0% finance options with our Klarna. We have sort of protection on there as well with Adyen. And yeah, we still have those extended returns up until January the 16th, just to make your shopping a little bit easier. You don't have to worry so much about it. Don't forget to check out the 2 Minute Foundation as well. They help sort of clean up our beaches and local areas, keep them nice and clean. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or anything that you want myself or Sean to just sort of chat about on the Friday show, try and use the hashtag #AskMark in your comments wherever it is online, and we will mention it in the Friday show. Thank you for listening, everybody, and of course, safe diving.
Stay classy, scuba divers.
The Deco Stop podcast is produced and recorded by SimplyScuba, the UK's #1 dive store. Visit today at SimplyScuba.com.